Welcome, everyone. This is our second session of Applied AI in College Classrooms. Um, this session, we are going to be continuing what we talked about last week. We're kind of covering the foundations of AI in education for this first module. Last week, we looked at understanding AI, what it is and how it works. We also kind of went over the course and what's in the course. Um, I'm realizing now that maybe that should have been a separate course, like almost a start here and then actual content later, because it was a little difficult to fit them both into the last hour. We're going to try for this hour to fit it in, but there's always a lot to talk about with AI, and some people are just are not used to this style of course. So for those that are just coming in, I'll go ahead and put in the link to the course if you'd like to follow along. And then also, while I got y'all here and we're starting off, I think I'm going to use this as kind of a almost like a check-in that you all are here. So I like to start these sessions off with a this week in AI. So instead of, just asking people to unmute and talk, which is okay if you want to do that, I'm going to put this in the chat, and maybe in the chat you can talk about an AI tool that you used, if you used a new AI tool or a new feature, or something something related to policy, anything kind of in the AI sphere that you did this week, or something that you tried or noticed. I know one of the big kind of breakthroughs, project updates was the release of Sora 2. And I'm sure you've seen videos of Tupac fighting with some other famous person that is not around anymore. There were a lot of people that were making videos of people who have passed away. So some controversial stuff, especially if you've seen some of their kind of using AI to almost looks like body cam footage, like police stuff. That was stuff I saw on the internet, but something also that I saw on this blog, which I didn't have time to talk about last week, but I'll put the link in here in the chat as well. This is a blog that comes out every week. It's from AI for Education, which is a really great website full of resources for anything related to AI and education. They've got a course that's pretty good that will cover stuff in more detail. And then they've got prompt libraries, some ideas for curriculum. But they have a blog, and every week they try to talk about something new that's happening. And here is the Sora 2. Has anybody ever tried Sora or Sora 2 in this room? Do y'all know what I'm talking about?
I haven't. I know a lot of them have, like, they give you a few credits to where you can use it a couple times, but so far I'm always leery about going out and playing.
Yeah. So I've got an example of a video that was created, and I mean, I think we're approaching what's real and what's not real. Like a lot of these videos, I mean, I don't know about the cat on the on the head of the figure skater, but and I mean, this is a little bit far-fetched, but I mean, they're getting better. It's getting more realistic, I would say. Yeah, so Sora, that's it's part of ChatGPT. So it's embedded in there. If you have a paid version of ChatGPT, you can go into here, somewhere over here, and you can try it out, I believe. Maybe I don't have it unlocked. I thought I remember seeing it over here. Maybe explore. Um, but anyways, it makes really like super realistic videos. Um, so that's something that was AI that was in the news this week.
Been hearing a
Anybody?
lot about the banana from nano banana from Google this week too.
Yeah,
It's
I've
crazy some of the changes that they've gotten going on.
yes. So if you log into your if you have a Google account and you go to Gemini, you can click the create image and yeah, you can just say what you want for an image. So I'll let y'all experiment with that. If anybody wants me to put one in right now, I'm in instruction mode and I'm not in creating examples. So if you have an example of an image that you want to see, put it in the chat and I'll make that image for you. Um, I said put it in the chat and it says I'm Earl Gordon. I thought it was going to make an image of Earl Gordon, but no. Thank you, Earl. Earl is talking about using ChatGPT and chose to stay logged out. Mm, okay, interesting. Is that the stay logged out means that you have an account but you don't use it, or you turned on the option so that it doesn't keep track of your chats?
Yeah, I have an account if I needed one, but I usually try not to. Yeah, I use the stay logged out version, and then I've been messing with Gemini a lot on my phone.
Uh-huh.
And now I have Alexa Plus at home, so I'm one of the pilot programs on that. So my
Oh,
whole
nice.
house, yeah, so I have a lot of interaction with my AI at home. So my wife thinks I'm crazy, but it's kind of fun. I enjoy
It's
it.
like talking to the computer.
Yeah, it talks to my cats and everything like that. It's great.
That
It's
was very
pretty
nice.
fun. Yeah, pretty fun.
Okay, thanks, Earl, and thanks for saying that in the chat. Elaine says she tries Gamma this week. Gamma is the tool that you can use to create PowerPoints really easily. When I show you when I get to the next section here, I'll show you the PowerPoints I made with Gamma. It's like 2 minutes. It made all of the PowerPoints, which saved me a lot of time. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the course, just so that I had some questions. It's I guess created in a unique way. Um, uh, add hair. Oh, David's got a picture in there. Looks
That's when,
natural.
like I said, when you prompt poorly and all you do is say add hair, it
I
does.
mean, I think it needs more hair, but it did what it asked. It did what you asked. One thing I wanted to mention, we kind of ran out of time last time. So for the people who weren't able to watch the Explore, the recordings, I'm putting the recording files here. So right at the top, if you need to access them in case you weren't here for whatever reason. If you want to get credit for watching the video and doing the assignment, uh, if you weren't here last time, um, there is a video for you to watch. And I basically put the recording there and then threw it into H5P. Now has a functionality where it can take whatever video that you create and give to H5P, and it will go through and periodically add test your knowledges. And so, what is the main focus of applied artificial intelligence in the college classroom? Um, and then you have to answer the questions. You get it correct, it'll go to the next one and say, correct, nice, 2 for 2. And then you'll get a little a little thing here. Vision 30 minutes where we're kind of talking about the topic, and then 30 minutes. Oh, I was like, who's talking? That's me. So, and then test your knowledge, the same thing. So there's like 2 questions every, I think it looks like every 5 minutes. And then at the end, you can check you submit your answers, and then check your score. So you would need to go through that if you didn't come live. Y'all are live, so I went ahead and gave you the points, so you don't need to go through this. You were there live, but for those who aren't, that will be the way to get the credit for attending these sessions, because this course is credit for attending, and then and hopefully interacting, and then there's credit for doing the work here in the ARN section, the apply, reflect, and network. And just to go over that very briefly, here's the apply. This is where it's either going to be a choose your challenge, or it's going to be one thing that you have to do. And then it's basically experimenting with a prompt, and then running it, refining it, conversating with it until you get something that you like. If prompt engineering is a little bit too advanced and nebulous for you now, don't worry. We'll cover it in more detail. This is just week 1 experimentation. And I think this week as well, this session is also going to be experimentation. So the way that it works, you do your interactions with chat. You get a summary. Usually there's a prompt at the end that'll ask to give a summary. You answer the questions here. Like I said, you don't need to go over every question, every reflection question. Spend about 20 minutes reflecting on your experience, and then you can paste your experiment in here, the summary from your experiment. This is also in the reflection journal, which can be accessed from the homepage. So if you go to the homepage, you can get to the reflection journal. And maybe I'll try to add a hyperlink here so that you can just click it and it'll take you right to that. But it should be your own journal. It shouldn't be the journal that you're going to make a copy of. And then the final one here for you to get credit for coming in is you got to post that reflection and your experimentation into the network. You don't have to do a LinkedIn post. Here's an example of what I did. I took my experimentations here, and I just this is basically my reflection and my AI conversation summary. And so I wrote down what my prompt was, what the response was, and all that kind of stuff. So as a way to kind of connect. If y'all post it on LinkedIn and you hashtag it and you do all that kind of stuff, especially if you post it to the group, there's a group if you go on to LinkedIn. I believe I have a link to it somewhere in there, but there's an applied AI in college classrooms. I could put it in the chat now if you want it for if you want to join the group. I see Claudio in there. Thanks, Claudio. You can post it in here, and then I'll reshare it and make my comments on it too, so that we can kind of be more active on LinkedIn if that's interesting for you. I know that it's not for everybody, but I think it's a great resource, and both for information and connections. So. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine too. This is completely fine to put on the discussion. So I saw Earl put on something here about his experience, and then he's got his reflection questions down here. Jody has got his stuff up here. I wanted to point, I was reading Jody's earlier, and we were comparing Claude and ChatGPT, and it looks like Jody did that as well. He went Claude and ChatGPT. Claude is, it says here, what you prompt has a lot to do with your results. Claude is geared to make a lot of assumptions without further technical prompting. So as opposed to Chat, where you need to add more prompts, conversate with it more. Otherwise, it's going to be generic. So that was kind of the point of the first one, is to kind of experiment, try out a tool, maybe a tool that you're familiar with, maybe a tool that is new to you. That was the main goal of that first session. And I wanted to say this was, I think, Dean's. Yeah. Dean's got his reflection in here, and there was one part that I was reading. It was kind of towards the end, I think, in the reflections. How detailed and specific they can get are now. Oh, yeah. They are now trying to predict your next need or request. That's something I noticed that shifted in ChatGPT. Maybe we'll say in the spring or the summer, where when you give what you want, you try to give your task, they'll give you a response, and then they'll ask at the bottom, do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do this? And it'll have an example. And I would say about half the time it's like, yeah, that is what I wanted. And then I could just press yes, and it'll automatically do it. Or if I had something else in mind, I'll say, no, I wanna focus on this instead. But I have noticed that there, in addition to predicting what it thinks you want to hear, which is what I covered last week and said, that's what these large language models are doing, is they're giving you the answers that it thinks that you want to hear. Now it's quote unquote thinking about what you want next, why you're doing it, and how to do the next thing. Sorry, my monitor is going on and off, so I just want to make sure the connections are connected. Okay, so that was session one. Post your reflections, post your experiments in here on LinkedIn, and you should be good to go for getting credit for session number one. Moving on to session number two, I'm going to do one quick thing here. I'm going to talk about the introduction here, and then we'll get into the listen part. So our goal for this session 2 or session 1.2, build a clear shared understanding of what AI is, how it works, and where it intersects with higher education practice. So it's kind of a continuation, right? We're getting that base understanding. Explore foundational AI concepts through hands-on interaction and large language models. With large language models, compare capabilities and limitations, and reflect. This feels similar to what we did in the first one. So we're going to talk about AI adoption trends today, and some of the challenges that we have in higher education. We're going to identify existing and potential AI touch points in your daily teaching practice. So where do you use it? Where can you use it? Maybe you have some tool that you use that you didn't know had AI functionality embedded in it now. Create a visual map of AI applications specific to your courses and discipline. We're going to look at that in the explore stage. And then recognize opportunities to address concerns for AI integration. There's always going to be some problems. So how can we mitigate some of those problems? And then LinkedIn or discussion board if you'd like. What we need today, we're going to do ChatGPT. I'm going to do ChatGPT, but any one you want to do is okay. Any tool that you like. Just to add a little bit more interaction here, why don't in the chat, why don't you drop your preferred generative AI tool? Preferred generative AI tool. Make sure I spell preferred correctly. There you go. All right, we've got chat, Copilot, chat. Yeah, chat's kind of the one, right? It's the I would say the one that's the most common and oh, but David's coming in here. David, uh, for the people who don't know what Perplexity is, oh, you said you got the browser last time, right?
Yep, the Comet.
How's the browser
Oh,
working for
and
you?
by the way, Perplexity. So, if you can figure out a way to make yourself look like a student, so that would mean if you could get like you were enrolled in a class, Perplexity Pro is free for 1 year to students.
Oh, and
So,
what do they need?
well, I
college
so
email?
they I was hoping all they needed was an EDU and you created your account with an EDU, but it
Yeah,
looks like they want you to possibly upload that you're enrolled in a class, an enrollment type
gotcha.
thing. So
Yeah.
I always thought I could always get one and just change the name on the top with the PDF and make it look like it. No, but but yeah, that's a way to get in Perplexity. And the U.com is actually something I bought last Black Friday for like $20, but it takes a bunch of the models into one area, is what it
Oh,
does. So when it was black, because or actually was it five? I think it was $4.99 a month, is what it was. So it was $60 for a year. But it takes a lot of different models, and you can pick from them without having to purchase a bunch of them.
there you go.
So
Nice. I've never heard about that one.
yeah,
I heard of one that was similar to this one. I can't remember what it was, but you're able to like pick and choose the models that you want to use.
right, yeah. So
So
and it does. I mean, yeah, like you said, there's quite a few, but a bunch of them like from out of the country, and so it's like I don't feel comfortable throwing my credit card out that way sometimes.
oh sure.
Um, but I'm sure that they were probably semi legit. But the U.com, kind of when looking around, seemed to be pretty good. And I use it probably once a month. I just usually open up the Chat GPT, just mainly because I wanted to play with the other one.
Yeah, sure.
I know there's a couple of them that are putting together more of the generative AI for video, photos, and stuff like that. Those ones are a little bit more expensive, but the thing is, for 20, $40 a month, you're getting a bunch of different models. So
Mm. What is that one called?
I'll have to look that up and see if I can get that in there.
Okay, cool.
So
Thanks. Yeah, that would be interesting. Um, yeah, because they all have their different capabilities. And I see in the chat, Claudio and Haley are talking about Chat GPT and Claude. Uh, I also too, like sometimes I'll take an output from Chat GPT and I'll say, something about this doesn't feel right. Like I feel that from my experience, Claude is a better writer. It's much more um, verbose. But I don't know, it seems more researched or I don't know, just reads better to me. So I kind of like cycle between those two. Uh, Claudia also put in the chat Play Lab, where educators and students create AI for their needs. This is another great resource if you're interested in AI and ed tech. I'm sure we'll talk about this more throughout the course, but for that, I just want to thank y'all for sharing and contributing. This is Gamma. This is straight off of I just pasted or I copied what is in our on our listen page, and then I pasted it in here, and I was able to create this in like 2 minutes. I didn't really change it. I don't really know what's going on with the theme. I got like a background. I like the starry background, but it also made these AI images that are a little too neon-y for me. I mean, I like it, but I don't think anybody can really relate to this neon classroom outside with all the students sitting on the grass with their laptops. I don't know. But anyways, that's what it is. For this listen, we talk about the adoption trends and kind of the future direction of where AI is headed in higher education. Um, Mainly, we want to look at the opportunities and the challenges for the institutions, and then also subsequently to individual faculty implementation of AI. Um, we talked about tools. We talked about what's going on this week in AI. Um, so let's talk about this. And actually, before I didn't get a chance to add it into that slide, I wanted to watch this video. It's very short. We're already kind of pressed for time. So I'm going to play just like a snippet of this. But I just thought that it went so well with what we're talking about today, and it will kind of help to frame it. So I'm going to play maybe a couple minutes of this. And then we'll get started in earnest on our learn or our listen steps.
There's no point in going through your university degree and having the artificial intelligence do the work for you and then coming out of it and not having learned anything. That's not what we're here for.
So the future of work is changing. We know this because that's all anyone's talking about. I mean, if you don't know about AI, you've been living under a rock.
Artificial intelligence could have some of the biggest impacts to education that we see in our lifetime. Will absolutely change the quality of education that we can provide and highly personalize education for all students worldwide.
How we should consider AI in the creative process. It should be used in a way where it trains you, it pushes you, it challenges you. You know, the minute it becomes a crutch, you know, then I think then it's not worth even using it.
You know, I think we're being led to understand much more clearly that what we see is not always truth.
Wanting to learn, wanting to come to university to leave better than you came, that is so much part of what makes you human, so much part of what gives you passion for knowledge, and so much part about what will take you from here into the world as a person who contributes and goes beyond what technology can offer today to see what you can contribute tomorrow.
We're all on a bit of a shared journey with AI as it begins to open up and we understand just a glimpse of its potential.
It's kind of an exciting time, really, where we're at, where it feels a bit chaotic, but we are in a position where it's a giant pivot in education. So we are going to be seeing new ways of teaching, new concepts about how students can learn, and new tools for them to be able to use in creating cool things.
Yeah, I think that's enough. The rest, you know, it's a couple minutes, but I would recommend watching the rest of it. But I liked that framing of, you know, that person who was just speaking, the academic integrity officer saying, you know, if you're coming to school and you're just using AI to do all the work for you, then like, what's the point of doing it? That's not going to be beneficial for you. And so I like to have that similar framing. We're not, you know, you might think I'm pro AI. You should do AI for everything. No, I'm pro learning, and I like efficiency. And so I think depending on the way that you use it can help with making your teaching more effective, and then hopefully student learning becomes more effective through that. But different universities are taking different approaches. There are 4 patterns that I've noticed as, you know, kind of going through this work and you know, learning more about it and what other institutions are doing. And there are the early adopters. Those are universities or colleges that have launched AI centers or campus-wide initiatives. I wouldn't say our college at Clover Park is, you know, we don't have an AI center or not. We have a campus policy for faculty, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily campus-wide. We tried to get on to this trend early, just so that, you know, we can let y'all know what you need to know related to it and try to get you trained on it. Yep.
Can I just ask one quick question?
Sure.
So your campus, I know really good at promoting this on your campus and stuff like that. Have you guys purchased a system, or are you just using like the Copilot through the Office 365 as a recommended for your faculty, or did you guys look at purchasing a campus-wide type tool?
That's a good question. And we have Copilot that's inside of the Microsoft suite that we have. Um, I don't know if I mean I think other people have been, kind of purchasing on their own versions of it. Jeff, did you want to add?
So I asked that question. Half my teaching team bought it on their own, the GPT plus.
Mhm.
So we went into the administrator and said, hey, we're paying for this. We're using it to enhance our courseware. Can we get the college to pay for it? And they just did this week. I got one faculty that's using the pro plan, $200 a month. And then the rest of the faculty is using the plus at $20 a month. And they're paying for it on a credit card. The run into that was asking administration, our IT director, do we have any plans to do institution wide? Do we have anything like in our Microsoft account that's already bought in besides the thing that's Copilot that's integrated into all the Microsoft apps in Office 365? And she said no and no. And so that's where we are on that one.
Mm.
We haven't been hit. The state government offices that we work with, a lot of them are prohibited from using AI because they haven't answered the security question, and they're not in competition in the commercial sector like our business partners are. The business partners are going to get run out of business if they don't use it. And so across the board, they're not only using it, but it is, I do security, doing a pen test and vulnerability assessment on the tools that our clients are using. It has become a major part of our requirement, the job requirement. It's just the government isn't required to compete commercially, and so it can sit on its hands and wait years to answer the question of, is this going to be secure enough?
Right.
Everybody else is out the gate and gone.
Well, thank you very much for that, Jeff. And not to take away from your meeting, Ron. So, but I'll bring it up to get added to the ELC and to the Canvas admin meet group because I have a thought on this that if we were to get it at the SBCTC level, they might be able to get a much better deal for all the colleges. And it could then also be locked down, like with what Instructure's doing with their Canvas, to where it's internal and doesn't go external. That way, each college doesn't have to turn around and try and set up a security procedure saying that this information doesn't get out. So if it's applied at one level, that security can be set to where nobody within our system can get out. So just a thought. So I'll put that in our meetings for ELC.
Thank you, David. And thank you, Jeff, for the perspective and your examples. That's cool. I want. Who's got the $200 one? I want to go play on it.
Jay does it. It really mattered on who was exceeding the daily goal, and at the free level, we were all exceeding it. And at the plus level, there's a little bit more tolerance. You could do like a lesson a day.
Okay. Cool. Okay, just to bring it back to what we're doing here for this listen section, policy development. That's something that it's kind of every college is kind of doing their own thing, it seems. There are a list of policies that go for the course level, like if you have a policy for your course, and then they also have them, going up to the institutional level. We'll be talking about policy later, so just to let you know, like a bunch of different, like whatever's going on at your college might be different from another college. Faculty perspectives, some people are really into it. I would say this group, seems like enthusiastic. Some people are cautious, which makes sense, right? You don't want we don't know what's going on in the black box of the LLM and how all that's being put together. I mean, we know the how it works. We got some coders in here that know how it works, but we don't truly know what's in there and how much is in there and what goes in, what comes out. So it makes sense to be cautious. And so we're next week going to be getting into that kind of aspect. You know, hype aside, like what are the ramifications of this and implications in higher education, and then the student expectations. Some students are use it for every assignment, especially if it's not said in the syllabus anywhere that you can or can't use it. But as Jeff alluded to just now, in industry, they're using it. And so it's important to think about that when you're thinking about how you want to adjust your class. Think about your students going into the world where AI is everywhere and can do everything. So, all right, some implementation models here. So we've got here. So administrative uses, schools are putting out AI chatbots for admissions. I know Clover Park has, I think our chatbot's name is Bonnie. George State University has a chatbot, and it's supposedly answered 200,000 student questions about financial aid, registration, campus services. They're creating AI-powered advising platforms that can help identify students that are at risk of dropping out. So think about, we use Navigate. So maybe there's some sort of algorithm that's put into place for that type of student support. Faculty tools, we've got writing assistants, research. The Claude research, if you haven't used that, is really great. Just make sure you're prompting it right, because usually you can only do like one. It'll go off for 15 minutes and find 300 sources on stuff that you're looking for. That's a really great tool to use if research is something that you're interested in, or maybe you need some research to kind of back up some of your ideas. And some people are even using AI to make multiple versions of the same assignment just to reduce plagiarism. So we'll talk about assignment design later in this course, but that's happening. Student-facing tools. So there's an AI tutoring platform from Khan Academy called Khanmigo. It's 24/7 homework help. I know ChatGPT has a study mode that you can turn on. They have accessibility tools that can convert lectures to text in real time, translate materials into different languages, make alternative format content. Some learning management systems now offer personalized study recommendations based on student performance. And if you went to InstructureCon, which you use Canvas, if you're in the Washington State system, they are going to be having AI integrated in that platform, supposedly within the next year. And so just think about that. Okay, so, and then we've got infrastructure needs. All of these implementations have really serious backend work that's important. Data privacy. So, this was kind of what we were talking about earlier. That's, maybe why the state is a little hesitant, or maybe why the college is a little hesitant. Data privacy, FERPA, secure integrations with the LMS platforms. Like, you don't want to have data that's opened up. And then data governance policies about what student information can be accessed by the systems are important things. So let me see here. I think I have a poll. If this is So before we move on, I've got in the chat, I'm gonna launch a poll that I created here related to, where colleges are. I want to know what's the AI landscape look like at your institution. If you think it's a green light, meaning your institution has clear AI policies and active implementation, you can choose that one. Yellow light is you're in the early stages, some discussions, but no formal policies yet. If you're from my institution, Clover Park, we have a policy for faculty, so we'll go with the green light. Red light means your institution is resistant to AI for students to use. So doesn't look like anybody is in that camp, which is great. I know, was it David? Were you talking about your school using Turnitin?
Yeah, we use Turnitin, and so far the scanning's been pretty good. And like I said last week, is the faculty has a strong directive of not to use it as an all say that yes, AI was used or not, but just to kind of give them guidance. That's all.
I like that. If you're going to use it, yeah, you don't want it to be the police. You just say, oh, well, I put it through and it says that 90% of this is AI. Can you walk me through your process? I'm not saying that what it is. That's what Turnitin said. So, okay. So some teaching applications, maybe y'all have known about this and have experimented. AI great for content creation, course material development, assessment design, feedback generation. We're going to be working on all of this stuff in this course. Research and lit reviews. I don't think we'll be doing much of that in this course, but like I said, Claude has really great research. And then we talked about the multi-language support and accessibility. So I'm going to move on to challenges and opportunities. So some of the challenges that we're facing right now, across the system of higher ed, faculty training and professional development. It's tough to train people on these tools if they're always changing. And so our goal with this course here is, we're going to get in there and experiment with some of the tools. Hopefully we can take that and apply it to whatever comes in the future, to try to stay adaptable, digitally adaptable. Academic integrity and redesign of assessments. It's tough to know how to redesign it. And it's hard to combat the students who are using it to cheat. But that's necessary. We're going to, if a student can generate an essay in seconds, then we need an assignment that is going to have authentic demonstration of skills. So like oral defense or a process portfolio, some sort of real world application. Equity concerns are real. Students without reliable internet can't use it, or older devices, they might fall behind. The AI tools can perpetuate biases in the training data, which once again, we'll talk about that next week. And then the data privacy, security, and governance. Actually, we'll talk about a lot of this stuff next week. So I'm going to go ahead and skip this question due to time. And then focus on some opportunities. So this is where it's exciting. AI is exciting. Less administrative burden for faculty, right? You can spend less time on emails when you have AI that can kind of help you. You have your idea of what you want to say. I want to say this, respond to this email. Repetitive grading. The focus can shift into more high impact interactions with your students. Personalization, it can give you individualized feedback and support. Like, let's say you have a full class, it can give you that feedback. Always double check it, never give anything straight from chat to your students, because they're starting to know as well. And then research, as we talked about, lit reviews that I remember doing a lit review and so much work, so much reading, but now it's much faster. And then there's space for some new pedagogical approaches. I've already seen they've taken Bloom's taxonomy and flipped it on its head. Now, chat's really good at some of those high level stuff. And so how can you make that kind of consideration when you're working on your assignments? So some success factors here. This is what some institutions are doing really great. Clear institutional policies and ethical guidelines are needed. Our institutional policy is we're leaving the faculty up to whatever, however they want to use it. We have some procedures, like we have some assignment tags that we recommend putting on assignments, but we're still kind of giving freedom to our faculty, academic freedom. Faculty development, comprehensive faculty development. I think that's what I'm trying to do with this course here, is to give us a weekly kind of check-in. Here's some tools, here's some way to use it. Go try it out, and then we'll talk about it, the following week. AI literacy for students. That's something that we're still working on. We want to teach students not just how to use AI, but when to use it, how to verify the outputs, and how to think about some of the ethical implications behind it. And then strong technical infrastructure and support. So if you have support from IT, sounds like our school does, secure platforms. If you have the pro or the plus versions, it'll say here, OpenAI doesn't use Clover Park Technical College Workspace data to train its models. It's one advantage of having a institution-wide one. And then so the final takeaways here for this section here: institutional strategy matters. AI adoption succeeds when coordinated across departments and supported institution-wide. That's something that we're trying to do. We have our AI task force that's being revitalized and meeting on Mondays at 3 p.m. Every third Monday at 3 p.m. if you want to join that. Policy development is critical. The problem with policy, it takes a lot of time to go through the system. Ours took like a year to get implemented. So, talking about policy in, something like this, that's, I think, the best if your institution can't come up with one. Faculty development, we're here. That's why we're here. And student prep is necessary. How many of y'all talk about AI with your students if you're teaching? Or actually, even if you're not teaching, you talk with your students? Jeff?
I was just raising my hand. Yeah, we do that. We have AI-specific assignments to pump the quality up, pump the volume up, and show your work and make critical changes.
Yep, nice. Elaine, how do you talk about AI with your students?
Hey, Ronald, can you hear me okay?
I can.
Awesome. So I will tell my students to utilize it as a tool and a resource, but not to actually get have it do its homework, etc.
Yeah.
Another thing that I have them do is when they do presentations, I encourage them to utilize AI to help them with creating a script that's going to be relevant to what already that they've written. So they do most of the work. So for example, with being an aesthetics instructor, I teach them infection control. So I tell them review the WAC law that and our regulations. You're writing everything on paper and you are doing the work itself. And then ask AI, how can I present this to a class in a fun, creative manner. So one of my students, for example, utilized Copilot and they did an interview style. And they had a panel there and they had a whole script written out and they were able to utilize it again as an inspiration and a tool to now teach the class what they learned essentially. So
Cool.
that's how I had them use it. But I tell them again, there's a place and time to utilize AI. And if they decide to use AI, you know, in a way of like, not plagiarism, but not doing their work, they're only cheating themselves at the end of the day.
Right. Don't cheat yourself. I love that. Oh, very cool. Thank you for the specific example and aesthetics, you know, like people, how is AI going to work in aesthetics? These are perfect examples. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, thank you. I'm going to move on to the explore stage. There's some references down here if y'all want to keep looking, you know, more into detail about adoption patterns for AI, implementation models, and some other challenges and opportunities and success there. So, some good articles and references for you there. All right, so last time, you know, well, I'm 10 minutes faster this week. Let's get into the explore stage. I'm gonna get faster every time. All right, so if you want to follow along, you can follow along. In ChatGPT, you can open up one. I'll go ahead and open up the not pro version just so that we can see what it looks like. Some materials you might need here, your syllabus, you won't need to put this in. This is just for you, like as a reference. Assignment list, typical weekly schedule. And then your college's current AI policy. If you want our current AI policy, you can go to our LibGuide in the syllabus section. Underneath simple syllabus, we have our AI syllabus considerations. And then I saw Derek mention in the chat about the AI assignment policy banners. Those are there for you to download and use as well. So I'm going to put that one into the chat. And here are our activities. So there's 3 activities. I'm going to try to get through them all by the end of the hour, but I'll probably have to go over a little bit over time. If you have to go at 4, you know, go leave at 4. It's completely understandable. I want to be respectful of time. So let's do this. We're gonna discover some hidden AI, some AI in tools that maybe you didn't know that it was in that tool. So we'll identify AI tools that are already in your teaching environment that you may not have recognized. Then there's a prompt that I'm going to use to do this. So once again, if it's a prompt that you can copy, I tried to add this little block text here. So you would just select from the end to the beginning of that line, and then Control C to copy. And then what did I say? I'm going to put it into not this version. Do it into this version. Yeah. So I'm just going to pop that in there and see what it comes up with. I want to do a quick audit of my teaching tools, help me organize them by category. And so we've got course management, LMS, gradebook communication, content creation, research and preparation, student interactions. So let's see. I'm just going to go through this list. I put that in there just to kind of see some examples of what it would come up with. But for me, I'm going to say we use Canvas. We don't use anything else here related for course management. Yeah, the gradebook is in LMS. Actually, when we put our final grades in, what do we put that into? CTC link. I'm just going to write down CTC link. Content creation. We use PowerPoint. I use Canva a lot. Maybe we can put into the chat. Start to put in what are some of the that's you. Yeah, that's a good idea. No, I want to so give me some tools that y'all use. If anybody uses tools for content creation. Descript. I use Descript when I'm doing my podcast. So I'm gonna put that one in there. Descript. Loom. We use Panopto. Panopto. I don't know if that's spelled right. I think Dion spelled it right. Oh yeah, no, I got it. Panopto. I'm gonna write down YouTube.
Camtasia.
Camtasia. This is a good one. Camtasia. Kahoot. And then Ally. Those ones in there. Don't do much research. And then student interactions. What's the name of that one that we can send out alerts? Taylor knows. Taylor probably used it. Navigate. Thank you.
Navigate.
Yeah, EAB Navigate, right?
Add Yuja. Let's see if it knows Yuja yet.
YUJA.
Yep.
Yuja. That's a kind of thing. Almost like an orange in Korea. Yuja. Okay. So we've got Canvas, CTC Link, Ally, and EAB Navigate. Those are under the course management. So Canvas AI Assistant. Oh, I've never used that. I didn't know there was an AI assistant.
That was shown during InstructureCon. Okay. It's going to be cool. Now, there's one part of AI that's going to be charged and another one that's not going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to chime in earlier that Turnitin has a new feature called co-write. Oh shoot, what's it called? It's a writing. It's going to be great for English teachers because the teachers can watch as the paper is being created using AI.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And see what the prompts are that the students are using.
Right. And one of the Canvas AIs, and I don't know if this is going to be in the free version or in the standard, but like in history, you can create an assignment and you can say you're talking to Benjamin Franklin, and the AI will be Benjamin Franklin and then the teacher can go back and watch the prompts. Pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's cool that they can see the prompts and the interactions. Yeah, and I think I remember Khan talking about that, Sal Khan, when he was talking about Comigo and also being able to access and see kind of how they interact with it, because that's going to be a new skill, being able to get what you want out of the AI. So I've got a list here. We've got Allies, AI-driven accessibility checker, scans the course for content accessibility issues. It's pretty nice. Ally is not that good though. I found there's much better ones, and we're talking with the state board about possibly moving away from Ally. Navigate, predictive analytics and machine learning, at-risk students, recommends interventions, personalizes outreach messages. PowerPoint, yeah, this PowerPoint's got Copilot in it. So if you ever open it up, if you've got 365, I think it's up in the corner. I see something about it. I always see it, and when I want to see it, I can't see it. So, Canva. If anybody uses Canva, they've got a lot of cool things. I use the remove background a lot if I'm working with images. It's one click and it removes the background. The script is great for removing filler words. That's what I do for my podcast. Camtasia has auto captioning. Oh, you have to have Audiate with that one. Panopto has auto captioning. That's good. Yuja, video platform lectures and course content. YouTube. And then there's some other things down here. So AI integration level advanced. This is a robust AI, has these tools, moderate, these ones. So yeah, feel free to put in any tools that you use, any sort of ed anything, any tech tools, to see how the AI integration is in there. That's my bell telling me that it's 4. So if you got to go at 4, I want to thank you for taking the time today to come in. I'm gonna finish up this explore. It shouldn't take me more than 10 minutes, but if you got to go, hopefully I'll see you again next week. And thank you for your time. All right, so that's activity 1. Let's see here. Make a simple table with these columns. So let's see, maybe did this already, but this in there. A clean, ready-to-use table template. Now for this one, I would have to go in and I would have to fill in how often I use it, right? So for me, Canvas every day, and then I'll have to rate helpfulness, and then did I realize? So it set it up for me here. Maybe I won't go through and do all of them because it will take too long, but every day. The AI assistant, I haven't used it, so I'm gonna do a 0 here because I don't have access to it yet. And did I realize it was AI? No, I didn't know. I mean, I knew that it was coming, but I didn't know that some people already have access to it. CTC link, it looks like this is kind of happening on the back end for student progress. So I mean, sometimes I use CTC link, but this type of predictive analytics is not very helpful for me in my role. If you're in a different role, maybe it's more important for you. And I didn't know that they had AI for the predictive analytics. It seems like all tools now have some sort of AI integrated. PowerPoint I use frequently, almost every day. But for the AI stuff, I don't really, let's see here, Designer, Copilot, I haven't gotten into Copilot. Someday I'll get into Camp Copilot, but I'm not there yet. And Presenter Coach, I haven't used that. So I would say like maybe a 2, maybe because I used the design part of it. And yeah, I did know that was AI. So you would kind of go like that all the way down. Speech to text in PowerPoint.
So I do accessibility. If you do Panopto and you have a PowerPoint presentation up, it changes your speech to text, and now you've got a transcript on your Panopto automatically.
Yes, that's genius. I love that. This is a great idea. I didn't know they had screen recording. What is this? Oh, this is recording my screen. Interesting. How do I get out of this? Okay. Interesting. Yeah, see, it doesn't show up. It's always there. It's like use Copilot. Oops, and now I can't find it. Okay. Let's go to the next one here. So anyways, we're trying to see where the main focus is this, where AI is embedded in, just so that we kind of really get our heads around how much it is in a lot of the tools that we use these days. You'll map your biggest teaching pain points to potential AI solutions. This is good. Let's go ahead and just toss this in and see what this one comes up with. So I've tried all of these before, but they give me different results every time. So something doesn't exactly look. Okay, breaking down your teaching challenges into the 3 categories is a smart way to clarify where AI could actually make work easier. So for me, grading and feedback on essays, open-ended responses. Let's see, I don't really have a lot of essays. I do have some open-ended responses. For me, actually, no, I'll use an example of one of our English faculties that has essays. We have a faculty that teaches English, and what she'll do is she'll take her student submissions, make sure that there's no identifying information about who that student is, pop it into chat with her rubric, and then get the feedback, adjust the feedback based on what she feels is lacking, or what it needs, what it needs to take away, and then she'll take that output, not give that to students. She'll take one more pass through that. But that, to get to that stage from just reading, actually I missed a crucial step. She'll read them first. Yeah, read them first, and she'll make notes. She'll make like little notes about what she thinks about each of the things that needs to be adjusted. Then she'll put it into chat, see what chat thinks, compare the notes, come up with her final feedback response from chat, and then take that and just make sure that it's, you know, really is her saying it. And if you think about it, she'll probably have to do all that stuff anyways, but to get it all typed out and like in front of you with where you just have to like make a couple minor tweaks is much better. Like it takes much less brain power than to do all the things. So it's a great use for AI as long as you're doing it ethically, responsibly. Lesson planning, administrative work. We kind of talked about all of these things already. Maybe in the chat for the people who are still here, what's your biggest teaching pain point? What's the thing if you're teaching or creating professional development? What's the hardest part for you? Which tasks do you have that are time consuming? Which ones that just require a certain amount of creativity? Which ones are related to student support? Sorry. Jeff. All right, let's see what this one says. This one, I mean, you know, this is an assignment here where, hold on, stay logged out. Oh, here we go, double response. So this one's putting it into a table. Once again, this is a lot of the work that's being done here. I've got this table now and I can download and I can copy this and open it up into Microsoft Word, and I can actually go and do this work. This is worthless to me right now because these are not my answers to these. AI grading assistance for essays, moderate technical feasibility. I mean, it's really just copying and pasting. But the time investment versus time saved is high. You save a lot of time. And then also your students are getting more personalized feedback. So it's going to have a big impact on students. Institutional support. I mean, you could get your institution to pay for a plus plan, then you're going to have more capacity for this type of work. AI assisted lesson plan generator. Yeah, that's pretty easy. That's going to save a lot of time for lesson plans. Student impact is more faculty focused than student focused, and no real institution support needed, just you and some good prompts. So yeah, you can kind of look it through this, and you know, you might agree with everything, you might disagree with everything. So this is once again just a kind of a starting point. In these first sessions, we're just kind of exploring and seeing capabilities. We're not really looking at the how to do what we're doing. We're just going to do it, and then we'll start to unpack that throughout this course. The last activity here that I want to do before I end, you'll develop a phased approach to AI integration in your courses. This one I think is really good. If you copy this to get you know, like what would be an easy thing to do, what would be a little bit more challenging. Can I close out of it? Oh, I need my oh, never mind. I closed out of my previous chat, and this is one reason why it's good to log in when you use ChatGPT, because it'll save your chats. When I closed out, I lost it. So if you're doing this along and you're going through this stage and you want to follow along, you can paste this to that last message that you got from here. And then, yeah, there's a couple other things that you can do, but that's going to be the end of this Explore. The rest of the module is to be done on your own. The Apply, Reflect, and Network, the instructions are there. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to me either on Canvas or to my email. ronald.lefko@cptc.edu. Thank you all for sticking around here for the extra 10. And I hope to see you all next week. Thank you.
My thing I want to know is how the hell you find all the time to do everything.